Can you believe it? It's already the end of 2025 and what a year it's been for video games. We've honestly had some all-time greats this year with the likes of Expedition 33, Dispatch, Hades 2 and Silksong. December was a lighter month for releases as it usually is, with all the video game focus shifting to the Game Awards. With this video, we are turning our gaze towards 2026 and all the upcoming titles in January. If you want to support the channel, please consider leaving a like and subscribe, but if you don't like it, then leave a thumbs down and let me know how I can be better for you. This will not be every game releasing in January, but the ones I think are most notable. I don't know much about the Broken Lore games, but they are a large series spanning several titles in the horror genre. Broken Lore Unfollow is a first-person psychological horror game that explores the impacts of social media on mental health. I'm sure we can all relate to that one, right? We play as Anne, a character stuck in this evil cycle of cyberbullying, and she must confront her demons in whatever form they arise. The trailers give us glimpses of the horrors that await, and for the most part they look like these sinister puppet creatures, which is very Silent Hill coated. It also blends the video game with the real world by having footage of actual people chopped into the narrative. This kind of realism coupled with current societal problems is something that true fear is made of. If this sticks the landing, it could be a true modern day horror that stays with you for a while. Broken Lore Unfollow releases on January 16th for Xbox Series, PS5 and PC. 2025 was the year of the Metroidvania, with games like Shinobi Art of Vengeance and Hollow Knight Silksong leading the charge. It's a genre I personally love a lot, and we get one in January with Mio Memories in Orbit. We play as Mio, a robot who is trying to solve the mystery of something called the Vessel. The Vessel in this world is a technological structure that has vegetation and presumably life forms growing across it. I can only guess that it is an important place in this world where manufactured life can return to true biological life. The vessel has broken down and the AI machines that look after it have stopped working. This is the setup for the story, and the gameplay around it looks super fun. It is a 2D platformer in a gorgeous looking hand-drawn art style. The trailers reveal all the classic Metroidvania traversal movements with a grapple, glide and even scaling walls with the tentacle looking things coming out of your head. The trailers showcase some particularly tricky looking platforming sections which catches my eye, and the website says there are 15 formidable guardian bosses to overcome. There is a real focus on machinery and non-organic life in this world, and like always with these kind of narratives, I imagine there will be a deeper meaning to the story. Mio Memories in Orbit releases on January 20th for PS5, Xbox Series, Switch 2 and PC. Arknights is an RPG gacha mobile game that has been around since 2020. It leans more into the tower defense genre, with characters being placed in a tile-based system. This world is expanding with the new title Arknights Endfield, which is far bigger and bolder than its predecessor. It is now a 3D action RPG which resembles something similar to a Hoyoverse game like Genshin Impact. You roll with a team of 4 across the land of Talos 2, a world significantly more advanced than our civilization, giving it a pure sci-fi feel. Combat is full action with an anime flavor, and you can switch between party members in quick succession in real time. There are many party combos and synergy moves to discover. The other part of the game is something of a factory simulator as you play people working for Endfield Industries. As you fight your way through the blight that plagues areas of the land, you can help rebuild by building new production lines for the technologies. This is split into larger base building and smaller outposts. You can craft gear, resources or things to earn currency to progress further into the game. If you like these free-to-play gacha games, this one is shaping up to be one of the good ones when it releases on January 22nd for PC, PS5 and mobile. On the very same day is Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, which is coming to Nintendo and Xbox platforms for the first time. Remake was originally released on PS4 back in 2020, and Intergrade was the enhanced version that came a year later for the PS5 and PC. Remake is a full revisioning of the 1997 game, adding new story content and a brand new real-time action combat system. This game is only the first part of the Remake trilogy, with it just focusing on the Midgard section of the title. For Xbox and Switch 2 owners, this release will also come with a brand new streamlined difficulty difficulty mode, which will maximize the party's HP and MP while also putting all damage output to a maximum. It's basically a god mode for those who just want to experience the story, and I will never back down more accessibility options. I am one of the people that has never played this game before, and I am looking forward to picking it up and stepping into Cloud Strife's shoes for the first time ever when Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade releases on January 22nd for Switch 2 and Xbox Series. Highguard has a high bar to clear as it took the one last thing slot at the Game Awards, which raised expectations for it, fairly or not. It is a free-to-play PvP raid shooter from some of the developers behind Apex Legends and Titanfall. Pulling from the website, players will ride, fight and raid as wardens, arcane gunslingers sent to battle for control of a mythical continent. There, they'll clash against rival warden crews for possession of the shield breaker, then break into and destroy the enemy base to secure territory in this all-new breed of shooter. We definitely saw what they meant by ride, as the release trailer saw the players riding on horses while simultaneously engaging in combat. That was one of the coolest things from the trailer for me. The combat looks slick and is guns combined with powers, which seem to be where the class variation comes into play. The game itself is split into two main components, securing and then raiding. Teams must first secure the shield breaker, and once this is obtained, the game shifts to a raid where players use the shield breaker to take control of the enemy base while the other team is presumably defending it. This offers some uniqueness, but it is still difficult to see how else this one differentiates itself from the many games we already have in this skin. The developers are calling it a new breed of shooter, and we will have to see what they mean when it releases on January 26th for PC, PS5 and Xbox Series. The Seven Deadly Sins Origin is an open world RPG set in the same universe as the anime. Playing as Prince Tristan, who is the son of the protagonist of the anime, you must adventure across Britannia to save the world from calamity. The focus is on a pendant called the Book of Stars, which has parallels with time and space, making it full of chaotic potential. The combat here is that of an action RPG and is hack and slash combos combined with ultimates tied to cooldowns. Each character has their own special moves, and you can switch to another party member on the fly within the team of 4 you have selected. There is crafting, collecting resources, cooking and a plethora of side quests to engage with across this massively sprawling map. You can climb most things in the environment as long as your stamina holds out, something we see a lot of open world games do now after being inspired by Zelda. Lastly, it is worth noting that this game does have gacha mechanics where you can spend in-game currency to roll for better gear and so on. The preview seems to suggest that this is pretty central, but how much in-game currency you get without having to put external money in is yet to be determined. After all, this is not a free-to-play title, but it is considerably cheaper than a normal game release. The Seven Deadly Sins Origin drops on January 28th for PS5, PC and mobile. I'm all in for niche games, ones that give you something a little bit different to experience. A few years ago, one of Dotenod's teams gave us Jusant, a climbing game with a sweet story. Now, developers The Game Bakers are giving us Cairn, a survival climber. Playing as Ava, the mission is to climb Mount Kami, which is said to be an unforgiving ascent. This game is very particular with its mechanics. You must manage the usual survival resources, but for the climbing you have to place pythons and be extremely conditioned with your movements. This is stamina based gameplay, but it goes much deeper than that, as you really need to chart your course across the mountain or you will fall. If you overextend, run out of stamina or put too much weight on one limb, you will fall. It is methodical, purposeful and pretty realistic. The game features both a dynamic weather and day cycle to further complicate the climb. I imagine this story will feature mystical aspects like we saw with Jusant, and it will open to some truly incredible visuals, some of which we've already seen in the trailers. Obviously Cairn is its own game and from a different developer, and it is looking like it offers considerably more sim with its climbing. I'm intrigued to see how this one plays out when it drops on January 29th for PS5 and PC. At the end of the month is Code Vein 2. This is a third-person action RPG in which its first game was dubbed a Souls-like, and this one certainly seems to tread that path too. What I mean by this is it is rhythmic battle battles with dodge rolls, blocking, parrying, and a finite amount of heals. The overview trailer showed some pretty unusual weapons like the bayonet, which can be used as both a ranged and a melee weapon, or the rune blades, which hover behind your character to be called upon for acrobatic slashes. Combat can be fought with a partner and their special abilities, or solo. If you choose solo, you can assimilate the abilities that a partner would have had, allowing you to still use those special moves, but fights will be more challenging as all the attention will be on you. The power of your special moves is drawn from the blood of enemies, which to me sounds like you need to continue to attack to charge them up. This game also has an in-depth build system to customize your weapons and skills. The story revolves around your custom-made character being revived by a revenant called Lou, who has the powers to manipulate time. Lou gave you half her heart to sustain your life, and you must use her powers to combat threats in the past to save the present. Prepare yourself to cross space and time to save the world when Code Vein 2 drops on January 30th for Xbox Series, PS5 and PC. This isn't everything releasing in January, so if there is anything I've missed that you think is notable, then let everyone know in the comments below and bring attention to it. I think this is a pretty decent list to start the year, and there is a great set of different games here for your tastes. February is the most packed month we've got so far for 2026 with a lot of big game releases. Keep an eye out for that video when it drops later this month. 2026 is looking like an exciting year for video games, so let me know in the comments below what you are excited about. Check my channel for the recent uploads of the Dispatch spoilercast and my ranking video of every game I played in 2025. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this content, and leave a thumbs down and I will try to be better next time. Coming soon will be my Game of the Year 2025 video, so look forward to that. And for everything else, casual gamer, keep it here. Peace and love.